Let's blast off.
You gave me hope when it seemed hopeless. You put a song in my heart. Showed me a road not often taken. You gave me a start all the way. Why did you ever change your name? All the way. Change your name, because you were like a wave on the ocean, wild and free you came, and you were like a storm coming out of mountains, never to be tamed, all the way. Why did you ever change your name? All the way.
Welcome back to the final season of Lady Babylon, Satanic Initiation. It's nice to have you back again tonight. I've got some great material for you. Let me just tell you what I've got, and then we're going to jump right into it. We're not going to waste anybody's time tonight. We're going to have a little bit of purification, and then we're going to continue on. So what do we have tonight on the docket for you? Oh, we have Jesus and drugs and crucifixion, all in one act of masochistic sacrifice. Masochistic drugged sacrifice. Oh, God. It's an image to worship tonight on Lady Babylon. I want you to enjoy the image of Jesus crucified. I want us to look as closely as we can at Jesus in the moment of crucifixion, because there are drugs there. You say, well, huh? Yes, there are drugs there. You thought the crucifixion was all about your fairy tale. You thought the crucifixion was all about your fairy tale. Like this guy we've brought tonight. Look at him and the glory. Can you see the wind in his? Who put that on him? He didn't have anything covering that. But you can see the glory of it. I want to turn from the story, the fairy tale world that is pulled over your eyes, and I want to look at the text, and we're going to jump into the bowels of an ancient source. Notice how, and I'm going to bring you some of his own translation of John, just so you can see the drugs and say, it's not just this guy. This man is crazy. Chewy, it's I'm crazy. I'm saying crazy things. No, that's why I bring all the sources, so you don't sit there and say, this man is crazy. I'm still not selling you anything. Yeah. You and I, we have a good relationship, by the way. For the person who wrote and said I make them high with my words, thank you. Thank you. That is the finest compliment. I appreciate that. Tonight, let us cleanse the temple. This is the place sacred. Sacred. This is the museum. We honor her here. And in order to purify that place, I'm calling in Lady Skutha. Lady Skutha. Hit it. Who's this dead guy? Hit it, Chewy. Alexander. For those of you who are trying to impede, those are his words. This is a channel of education. And if you can't hack it, you better step out, because we are about to hit what I like to call the dirty. Let's do it. Let's take a look at Jesus on the cross. Chewy, bring us up. Star charts. Hit the first one. Why is he doing this, mommy? It's because of Ada, children. Tonight, Almond's episode is brought to you by Ada. This is the 7th letter in the alphabet, and it stands for the number 8. It is the Ogdoad. Oh, Ada. Fantastic. Where are we? We're with the 8th man tonight. We're with the 8th. Do you remember what the beast does? The beast brings Lady Babylon. We are with the 8th. He was. He isn't now, but he will be. And when he is, whoo, I'm going to show you a cure for cancer tonight. And you say, how dare you say that? No, I'm showing you stuff from antiquity, people. You can't blame me. I mean, here, somebody call the Institute. Let's go to the source. Next one. Boom, bring this up. I wanted you guys to see this. This is a little bit of the Bible. I'm just going to read it quickly. And after this, Jesus knew that everything was done, right? In order that, it might be fulfilled. Yeah, what could possibly be fulfilled? That which was written. Yeah, so what did he say? He says, deep soul, I am thirsty, because he had to. That was his cue, right? There's a certain amount of performance in the mystery, people. Didn't you know that? We're going to see it tonight. We're back here with Jesus, and there was this pot there, and it's full of the oxus. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to translate that word tonight. You can say oxus or you can say oxos. So there he is, I'm thirsty. And there was this pot there, and somebody came along and dipped a sponge. Remember, there's a whole bunch of women around the cross, right? Somebody came along and dipped in that sponge, applying some hyssop. And they put it up and gave it to him right at his mouth. And when he took that oxos, Jesus said, it's done. And he leaned back his head. And he gave out his breath. Take it down. That's how the ancient Greeks said, you die. What is that Jesus doing? He's hanging there on the cross. And he is dying. And he drinks something that they give him. Now, what I'm going to do with you now is I'm going to take you, bring that lovely crucifix up there. We need to see that. Except we should be able to see his privates. We should have covered Jesus's privates with a cross. Wouldn't that be funny? You could cover Jesus's privates instead of with a little towel, with a cross, with another little Jesus nailed to the cross. And what was on Jesus, who was nailed to the cross? What was on his privates? Another little Jesus nailed to a cross. You see, and then we'll never make it on time. Let's just, people, can we just, okay, look what I'm doing. I'm buying time because I'm sucking up the ghost of Nonus. I'm going to give you what I just read you. I'm going to give it to you now in his words from antiquity. All this stuff that I've been talking about with the drugs, you're sitting there thinking, I am not going to find drugs with Jesus while he's getting excruciatingly crucified. Yeah, you are. And it's not going to be from my lips. It's going to be from a guy who wrote in the language and had a very good understanding of the cult. Very good. Whew. Okay, let's go to the next source. Go. Boom. Okay, here we are, people. This is a secret text. I want to show you this secret text. Are you ready for this? This is from the very same passage. It's just, no, this is translation. So I'm just going to start up at the top in line 28. He said to the people, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. Yeah, and next to him, where he was, in a spot next to him, was this container full of the oxos. And some dude, here it says a dude, some dude thought he heard oxus, so he dipped a sponge. He dipped the sponge. Where did he dip the sponge? First of all, what is a sponge? He says in line 31, he says, you know what the sponge is? The sponge is the offspring of the sea that comes from that underwater temple, that holiest of holies. He says the aduton. It comes from that inner chamber. That's where the sponge is. And what else does he say? He soaks it. He does what? He soaks it in the, what does he fill it with? He fills it with the Drimutatoyo Potu, the potion that is the most acrid. It's the most biting. What do they call it? Dipsados halmes. They call this one. Get ready for this. Are you ready for a drug name, people? Are you ready for this? They call this the brine of the viper. They call it the brine of the viper. Brine of the viper. Oh, are you kidding? This has got to be good stuff. It's wonderful. Potio, right? Romans are looking at each other. Just put the potio together and just give it to the guy, right? We don't care. They're standing there. The women are standing there. Everybody's distracted. What do? They offer him this stuff. Bring us back to Nonus. Bring us back to Nonus. There they are. That's a lovely picture. Look how grim and dark it is. Because remember, there's an eclipse, right? And he gets it at the end of the eclipse. Boom. He's dead after he drinks it. Druggy. Bring us back to text. Look what he's got here, right? It's the dipsados. It's specifically that viper that causes you to thirst. Causes you to thirst. I want you to just keep that in mind. I'm going to keep translating for you. So this dude holds it up way up high on this pole, this reed, right? And he gives it right to him. And look at 155, the first word, antidoton. That's a smudge underneath it. It's antidoton. What is the thing that is given to Jesus from the dude below him? This guy from antiquity says it's an antidote. It's an antidote. What is it an antidote to? Well, first of all, it's for the king. It's for the Basileus, baby. We're going to the kingdom. You want to go to the kingdom? I'll show you a king. I'll take you right there, right now. We'll go. Do you want some? I want some of that stuff that he's using. And he knows as soon as he gets it in, he's like, that's it. That's all she wrote. Boom. Dies. And the Romans are like, why is he dead? Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Let's look at the drugs that are in there. What does he fill? What are these? What is this an antidote for? Nope. Go back to the text. What is this an antidote for? What is this thing? Look at this. Look at this. It's on 155 and 56. It's this oracular voice inducing bread dripping honey. And it's just beautiful in its whiteness. Wait, what? Yeah. It's thespesio. It puts you into a state, baby. You know how Jesus is with all his giving of the flesh and blood. You know how he is. What does he say? It's a thespesiestic drug. What does that do? That's oracular voice, baby. You will not have that oracular voice if you don't have this type of drug. Remember, people, and in those earlier, my beloved children, in those earlier, that something got my goat. What happened? Can we get my goat? Yes, there she is. Right? It got my goat because I could feel it in the group. That was a funny ripple. Okay, take him down. Every once in a while, you got to show the cross. Just remember that. Remember, every once in a while, show the cross. Bring us back up to notice. So, what is this stuff? This oxos, it's the oxos of death, baby. Right? It's prepared with hyssop. Right? It's given to him. And this stuff from this honey dripping bread that induces the oracular voice. What is he doing? He's taking this stuff, right? And when he took it, look at the third line from the bottom. For those of you who have the least bit of doubt left over. Alhote pikron edek topoton kai dipsion halmen. And when he took that pikron poton, that extremely sour, acidic potion, the one even we address as the dipsatic brine, when he had taken that, everything, all bets were off. You thought Jesus died there and he's all like, I'm bleeding. I've gotten poked. Where's my acacia? Wait, what? Where's my acacia? Give me some of it. Yeah, they didn't know this was coming. Some of you will delight in this. You'll be like, oh, I know. And good, good. Welcome to the party. Sit down. The punch bowls are over there. Hit it. Yeah, hit it, Chewy. Watch this, guys. Let's just enjoy this. Thespesios. This is the last season. Let's just enjoy it. Thespesios. Look at this. And what does it mean? Divinely sounding, divinely sweet. And look where you use it. You use it in the context of songs. Oh, that's nice. Use it in the context of the sirens. Oh, that's interesting. I thought the sirens. Have you heard the siren voice? If you did, then you know what that oracle bringing drug does. Yeah, you mean you can perceive music differently? Yeah, you can. You should watch the Bacchic chorus. Amazing. It'll teach you everything. It's like a traveling troupe of educators who kick tail and sometimes kill people and eat them. They had one. I'm just going to tell you this. Chewy, just give me a second. They had one in antiquity that was called the Sphinx. She went down to Thebes. They came from the mountain. It's a tribe of these now, right? A tribe of Maenads. And what do? They rough the place up and demand tribute. We want 12 virgin females and 12 virgin males. The best you got. Best looking. Whew, we want dancers. We want those. Anybody who's got any influence, maybe some brains, we want them. We want their offspring. And they're like, no, don't take it. And as a result, people would die of a strangulation. That's what Sphinx means in Greek. Sphingo. Strangle you. Imagine me, right? I'm the Sphinx. I'm a strangler. I got my hands around your throat. And how do I, as her, how do I get my hands around your throat? Oh, I do it with my bow. Yeah. I'll nick you with a poison that'll cause you to fall on the ground, stone stiff, and strangle to death. How do you like that? Now are you going to give us the virgins? Thanks. will go away. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy some of this livestock. No, we don't need sacrifices and barbecues. We eat them raw. Wow. That's a healthy diet. You guys talk about these old, diets. You ought to forget paleo. You ought to go Bronze Age. Get on your Bronze Age diet. Eat that sheep. Yeah. Yeah. Or person. If you catch your neighbor doing something they shouldn't do, bring justice to them. Boom. Take them into pieces. You don't even have to carve. You can pull them apart. They said that. I was talking once with a famous dude, Carl Ruck, trying to figure out, is it an act that requires extra, is it a feat of strength to pull apart a bull? Can you pull apart a human being with your hands? I think it can be done, but it helps if you are in a state of enthusiasm. If you have that entheotic substance on board and you're pumping in a little bit of that mania, imagine, right? Imagine. These are the people we're talking about. You thought you go to church and you think, this is a real mystery. And you sit there, oh, mystery. Yeah, everybody walks out. You know, how friggin' satisfying is that? You're never going to reach climax in a Catholic church. Yeah, unless you're part of the priesthood. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's true. Okay, let's keep going. Back to the source. Give me the next one that was up there. Look at this, people. Love. Here it is, the deep sauce. Here is what is, according to Nonus, is in Jesus's guts when he dies. Are you ready? Here it is. He's pretty slashed up too. I hear. Mel Gibson does a heck of a slasher movie. I love it. What do they call those? They used to call those snuff films. Did you guys watch Jesus get snuffed? I've watched it. Did anybody else? Were they like, oh yeah. Does it do anything for you like it does for me to watch Jesus get crucified? If it does, you've probably come to the right initiation. This is probably, just consider yourself to be in the right place. Now, I know that there's varying degrees of enjoyment. Let's be balanced about it, right? Let's be balanced. Let's bring it back to the deep sauce. Look at this, people. Blow that up for me, will you? Look at this. Okay, of course, we've got venomous serpent, right? Venomous serpent, whose bite cause intense thirst. Look at the sources and the candors, theriaca, the theriac, right? And Elian, and we're going to see an actual theriac tonight, an Elian, and he puts the venomous species there, right? Or as close as we can get. We know that's a viper. We know the Echis is a viper. Okay, fine. But look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. What do we also refer to as deep sauce? Remember that serpent raised up in the wilderness? Right? You remember that, don't you? Right? Look at the bottom. This is the acacia, people. Right? This is that desert thorn. Yeah. You guys know where that goes. You guys know what you can do with that thorn? You can push it. Yeah. Right? If you were there and cool enough, you would have learned all these drug terms that I got to learn through a library. It's fantastic. You get to learn the street lingo. Best thing in the world. Ancient drug users seeking drugs from the legitimate drug dealers of the day. Yeah. Who were concerned about things like, purity, effect, right? Strength. Be careful. Be careful. This nard will knock you down, right? This is the good stuff. That's why it's so expensive. Did you know your history was a history of junkies? Jesus Christ was a junkie to the death, to the death. Now remember, that serpent has to be lifted up. That serpent has to be lifted up. You know who I'm talking to. You know who the audience is out there. We got to lift up that serpent. And anybody who looks at it, they're saved. Yeah. And you wondered why they said he's casting out demons by the power of the devil, right? Moses, that's who we're talking about, right? Moses and all of his thing that he's doing. He's doing the very same thing, right? He is written in the 3rd century. And as a character, he is doing the very same thing, right? You wonder why Jesus and his boys, right? By the way, it's a little bit, people are like, huh? All the apostles are teenage boys? Well, not all of them. Some of them are like 10 to 12, right? So, give them a break there. Do you know how good it feels to say that? Do you know how good why is that one invulnerable? Why is that fact invulnerable? You can't deny it. They were young, right? And everybody says, oh, Peter was married. No, it's the word for female in-law. It could be his sister-in-law. Yeah. And there's no other record. And by the way, he's naked on boats with other kids at night. Yeah. When Jesus gets there, he throws on his underwear. Yeah, these are the boys from Galilee. Isn't it funny that history gives us the boys of Galilee, the young boy prostitutes of Jesus, the trafficker? That's what history gives us. And what do we turn it into with our minds? What do we create for ourselves? The picture of, no. These are all old bearded men, and they're at this table sitting. Did you ever notice how the Last Supper doesn't feel right? I just want to remind you of one thing. When Jesus gave them the contact for the upper room, because they needed somewhere out of the way for Jesus to take his 12 boys to, he needed a place that was out of the way. And in order to find this place, he gave instructions. He didn't give the dude's name. Nobody ever figures out who's the saint who was that shady guy that directed the kids to the room. Jesus said he'll be holding a water jar, be holding this big water jug. Just go to him. You'll see him there in the street. It's like, dude, he had his business set up. He's not a lay-stace. You know what Jesus worried about at night when he went to bed? He worried about getting caught. And he runs out in the Garden of Gethsemane at 4 a.m. I'm not a child trafficker. Okay, well, now we're with him on the cross a few hours later, and now you understand why people are so angry. All of a sudden, there's crowds. Screaming out, get rid of him, dude. So they crucify him, and he's there when they crucify him, being offered, according to Nonus, that very communal theriac, that thing to round out the rite, that thing that balances the rite. But why? Because his people know he's on it. He's on it. And what does he do? He goes right into the death state. Don't you know that's what we do? Those of us who work by the power of Satan. Don't you know that's what we do? We put you into a death state and raise you back to life again. And you walk around anew, and it does something for you up here. It gives you perspective that you didn't have before. Well, he goes right into it. He goes right into death. Right into death. Somebody asked me recently, they said, Amen, do you think that the death is how far did they go into it? Was he sitting there? I can't answer that except with what I've seen, and I'm not going to BS you guys because I don't have anything to profit off of this. Yeah, they had drugs to put you into a state. They call them thanasimon, into a state that looked like death. That you could have somebody come into the room and not be able to get a pulse. Pulse is big, right? These people are not stupid. And they wouldn't, they wouldn't be able to notice any visible signs of living, especially breathing can make it look like you're not respirating at all. Yeah, they're using paralytics and stuff like that, people. But these same drugs, they have antidotes for that will bring you back. So when Nonus is talking about antidotes there, realize that this is a sophisticated pharmacology. This is polypharmacy. I was just reading today about how to make grapes that will be poisonous. I was like, wait, what? Why would you want to do that in the first place? Right? But it turns out you make slits in certain places. Sometimes he'll talk, and not with just grapes either, talking other vines. How to turn the vine into a substance. You coat things, you make plasters, right? You basically make poisons, give them to the plant to absorb. The plant absorbs them and then produces a fruit. I am the vine. You are the branches. Let's go to the next one. Revel in some more Greek. I love this. Let's look at the bottom. Oh, causing thirst. Yes, this is what we look at. There's just a couple. I just wanted you to see. Those of you who are biologists, this gets you, gets you Twitter pated. Look at the sapes. That's a snake for you. That, you know what that one causes? That one causes corrosion. Wait, what? Yeah, we get our word septic from it. Oh, it's from the sapes. Woo! And look at the last one, deep sauce, right? We know that's that viper. We know that's that viper. And you get some of that goodie inside of you. You blow that up your backside, right? Which is where they medically applicate it, right? You can go somewhere. You can go somewhere. Love it. Mixed in. Let's go to the next one. What are some more drugs? We got to look at some more of the stuff that Jesus. I wanted to throw this out there because I didn't think people saw it. I just wanted to show people. Here we have the logos in the very beginning, and Nonus is telling us about this logos, and I just wanted people to see. I just wanted people to see a couple of things about this logos. This is the Huios Amator. You say, what? Yeah, this is the Son of God who has no mother. This is the logos. This is how the cult works, people. You wanted to see Christianity? Look at it. Do you know why we take them right out of her? Hippocrates, can that 7-month child live? Oh, how many moons has it been? Yes. This is the one without the mother. This is the son without the mother. Oh, is that right? This is who he's got to be. Right. The logos. Fantastic. This is what is floating in the cult around Jesus Christ. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh, here it is. Amator. Look, motherless. Oh, it's so sad. Who do you see there? Here, for all of you cultist sick baggos, look at this. Melchizedek. We knew who we were looking for, didn't we? Go to the next one. Love it. Next system. Okay, here's a little quote for you. I just wanted you to see. Zoe, look at the second line. Zoe, that's who we're talking about, right? She is engendered in that logos. Sophia is. For those of you who've had some little bit of Gnostic training, maybe you went to a Gnostic weekend group and everybody got crazy, crazy high and did things to each other that sometimes you just don't want to recall. Oh, no? Maybe not. Not yet, anyway, right? But who knows? Could be a future path. Look at what's going on here. She is there. Zoe is that, she's that one that's ingrained in that source, right? She's that. Okay. I just wanted you to see Zoe because we're not going to see it on the purified side of the Christianity. Later Christianity that purified these sources, they didn't want to see Zoe, right? Now, we couldn't take her out of the Garden of Eden, right? We still managed to capture the book of Zoe, right? People know about it. The tree of Zoe. You didn't know Zoe had a tree? Yeah, the tree had a serpent in it. Had a serpent who guarded it. Gave her access. Love it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Look at this. Yeah, she's the all nourisher. She is the all nourisher. Do you know Zoe? Do you know Zoe? Zoe will crack the ceiling of Christianity. Yes, it's who we were looking for in Edom. We were looking for Zoe. For those of you with ears to hear, we were looking for Zoe in Edom, right? And that's why the devil was like, no, it's not going to kill you, right? Eve was like, that MFer, she didn't say MFer, but that's what, because she said, he told us, you eat it, it's going to kill you. That one will kill you. The devil's like, nope. You take this stuff and your eyes are going to be opened. Yeah. And you'll be as he is. You'll know. And Zoe was like, I dig it. And she was like, Adam. And he was like, huh? And the devil's like, I don't know why she's with that guy. You know what I mean? Right? Why was she with him? Because she was that thing that you people translated now. Bible scholars. It's Bible scholar time. Come here. Gets my goat too. Bible scholars. There you go. Because you so distorted it. Because you so screwed it up. You created your artificial paradise. And it was just a dream. You said helpmate. More Bible scholars need it more. Anybody else here want me to give it to the Bible scholars? Helpmate, Bible scholars. Here, this one's for the Baptists. Baptists out there, you translated this as helpmate. Helpmate. No. This is that priestess that gives life. This is she with the aquavita. If you'd asked me, Baptist, I'd have told you. But now you have this on your bottom. Yes. Oh, I know why they do that now. I know why the Balkans do that, right? Because it brings you to a place. It's invigorating. It's good exercise. It feels like the Lupercalia once again. You ever go to the Lupercalia? Right? Oh, this kid went up. He was an Adonis. He was an Adonis, and he had that flail in his hand, that strap, and he went up to the girl that he was just been following around for the last year, and he hit her so hard with that, and she tore open her breast, and he just hit her over and over. And do you know why? Why are they doing stuff like this? It's goat stuff. It's the tragedy, right? It's the tragedy, right? That gets my goat. The tragedy that we have left out, the tragedy out of our society. We've put a cross over it. Now what we really worship is that guy being crucified, right? Let's go back to him. You didn't know Jesus got stoned while he was dying, did you? It's okay, though, because they had drugs of revival. Yeah. The Theriacs, people. They had drugs that could bring you back. Don't you realize? Jesus could have gone back to the tomb. They could have taken him to a tomb. Doesn't matter if they broke his legs. He'd be in shit shape for a while. But he wasn't dead yet. He did get stabbed a little bit. He got aerated, right? And all the water he's drinking because he's been thirsty. How long do you think it would have taken? The question is, could they have gotten him back and revived before? Now that would be an interesting question. And maybe that's why that little kid is there in the tombs. And what is the kid wearing? He's wearing ceremonial stuff. Seriously? Yeah, for what kind of ceremonies? Death cults, you bonehead. Death cults. The mysteries are death cults. They have to be death and resurrection. If I can't put you into that state, see, ancient Christians, they weren't faith. Your faith. They were going through it. They were being put into the death and brought out, because that's how the mystery functions. That's why Jesus knows all that stuff about death. That's why he's walking around raising people from the dead. Didn't you wonder? Didn't you wonder, why is this man walking around into tombs and there's little kids all over these tombs and he's raising them from the dead? Didn't that disturb you? You know, we're going to have to account for this. The devil wanted me to let everybody know nobody's getting off the hook, right? Humanity worships a disgusting pedophile named Jesus. Dude was arrested in a public park with a naked boy. You don't think that you're going to go across that event horizon, and when you get to that actuality that we are the reflection of, you don't think you're going to be held responsible for supporting that? You don't think the cosmos is all interrelated? You don't think the Greeks were yelling about judgment over and over and over again because they understood how nature works? Yeah, we're headed for it. We're headed for it. Your Honor, I would give you this appeal. I will give you this appeal, Your Honor. We cannot abide this person. We cannot abide this person, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Take us back to the sources. We're almost done. I want to give you. Yep. Look what's going on. Yeah, and this is another text from the Bible. It's referencing what they were giving him, right? And here it says the wine has been Smyrnized, right? And what is Smyrna? Right? That one he didn't take. The one that's been Smyrnized. What is it? What else are they doing with their drugs? Flavoring or drug, right? With myrrh. With myrrh. Oh, okay. Remember, everybody says in Bible college, what's the myrrh for? It's an embalming drug. They don't say drug. They would never say drug. It's a substance that's used in embalming. Yeah, it is. You know what myrrh is also used for? You can make a hot drug, a plaster to put upon your private parts, and it will burn so good. Oh, God. It's got myrrh all in it, right? It's a myrrh base. You can't make sex drugs without it. It's something to do with circulation or something. I don't know. Let the scientists figure out. We're the sex drug scientists. And, people, where's your sex drugs? Terrible. Our technology is terrible compared to what they could do. They could give somebody an erection for a week. A week. When I read that, I was like, what? That's crazy. And the source says, yeah, but the person will die eventually. You can't keep them that long in that state. Huh. Must be, I bet it's a blood pressure thing. I bet eventually your heart just can't take it. Yeah, I bet it is. You probably just keel over and they're like, oh, wait, get it. They give them to get the medicated dildo. We got to get this guy with this venom stat, right? Where's the priestess? We need milk, right? That's what they call it, milk. It's the stuff that always saves you. from the death. So when somebody asks me, are they putting people actually to death, and then reviving them? Is the person actually dead? We know it looks like. They look like they're dead. And we know they can bring them out of it. And we know that if you don't administer the drugs to bring them out of it, they'll die. So I don't know, you're putting a person on this kind of plane of halfway here, halfway there, and bringing them back, reviving them. They're laying them out in their tombs. You didn't know Jesus was a necromancer, kids? Yes, he's a necromancer. Let's go to the source again. Everybody in the congregation is like, you keep going. You keep going. I just want you to see a drug here. I told you I would bring you a cure. This is the form of the frankincense. Look at the middle line. Ithalen de Libanoton. This is that form of frankincense. Remember we were around the angels? We're talking about the stuff they're burning, right? That's given us the vision. Well, this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff of the fumigation. And what does this stuff do? You're not going to believe this. It's a stalticane carcinomaton. It is something that stops cancer. Yeah. Now, when they say cancer, they're talking about all sorts of things that we would break down more now and say, well, this is this and this is that. But they use this for when they're talking about the stuff that, looks like a crab on your skin. So the skin cancers, this is what they're talking about. So we know this is some kind of what you and I know as cancer. And this thing is able to stop and regress the cancer. But it's not just the myrrh. It's a combo. And the way they're doing it is they're misting people with it. Misting, you're breathing it in and it's making contact with your skin. So it's a whole practice. And this is sophisticated from antiquity, people. I'm telling you, this sophistication level here is phenomenal. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. And in the third hour, right, they crucified him. They crucified him, right? About 9 in the morning. They had captured him early, about somewhere 3, 4 a.m. in that range. He'd had his stuff gone through and all that kind of stuff. And they were like, yeah, kill him. Already had a crowd. A few hours later, they finally cleaned up the boys from Galilee. And those apostles, they hit did you never notice they run? Why is it in the fairy tale that all the apostles are like, oh, jig's up, and they all run? Haven't you ever thought if you were an apostle, you would have stood there and be like, no, dude, this guy's God. Watch, I'm going to stand next to him because your asses are fried, right? You would have done something like that, right? But no, they all hit the road. They knew it was coming. Boom. And they got out of town. Peter tried to come back, and those little prostitutes, right? They said the little female prostitute, the underage female prostitutes that are in the Gospels, say they recognize the boys from Galilee, right? You guys know that. I want you to see, as Jesus is on the cross, he is still that lestes. Let's go to the next one. He is still that trafficker. And what happens? This perfect cue. They sacrificed him between two lestes. He's got lestes on either side of him, and he's yelling when he's caught, I'm not a lestes. Right? He's yelling. Okay. This is what Jesus was afraid of. You ever wonder what Jesus was afraid of? He was afraid of getting captured as a child trafficker. Right? He's there with his 12. Right? They hit the road. I bet you they could have implicated other people. I bet you some of those women that were around Jesus's cross, right? I guarantee you they were involved. And you guys know, and I know some of you were looking, right? And you want to find that Salome, and you want to find that temple thing. You want to find those goodies because you want the real dope, right? You didn't realize they were on dope, did you? Yeah. but you're a dealer at that point. One of those women, you're a dealer. Right? So, what do you think Lydia's got Paul? You know what Paul is? He's a slave. He's a slave to a corporation that has a drug monopoly. Yeah, for the good stuff. These people will give you the good stuff. Let's go to the next text. Oh, this is lovely. It's all going to come to an end. I know. Yeah. So this stuff was um, supposed to happen. Supposed to happen. Jesus was supposed to, as the prophets were saying. Jesus is supposed to be accounted. Elogiste. He's supposed to be accounted. He's supposed to be reckoned. Meta anomon. With these laystes who are practicing the rite or the mystery of anomia, right? This was supposed to happen. He was supposed to be crucified. He was supposed to be destroyed amidst this circus of the anomia that Paul says this stuff is going on right now. Let's go there. Let's do it. I can't take it anymore. We just got to expose people. Look at this. Here's Paul, right? This mystery of anomia, it's at work right now, Paul says. He's not talking theology, people. He's talking about the laystes. Yeah. Yeah. Next one. Boom. And what does he say in 2:3? Don't let anybody, deceive you in any way, right? Because the apostasia has to come, right? And then things will be opened up. We'll see who this man of anomia is, this son of ruin or destruction, the complete decimation of everything. Who is it? Who is this man of anomia who hangs between them, between the laystes? This is the fulfillment of the apocalypse. What you get to see, Christianity, is your sick, disgusting God. That's what you get to see. This is your destruction. That's 2 Thessalonians. Right. Okay, sorry. That was I was a little bit jazzed up there, Chewy. Didn't you see that? That's when it came out. I was thinking of the Empire. And now. Okay, let's finish up. Oh, whip. They want more whipping. Sorry, we got a new. Okay, fine. Who are we whipping? Who do people want me to whip? Who? Oh, okay. All right. Here, let's just whip Jesus on the cross. He's on the cross, right? We might as well whip him. Jesus, wake up, Jesus. Sabachthon, you said? I got your sabachthon right here. We take joy. They take joy in the crucifixion. Can you believe that? Look at them. The angels that are watching. Look at these people. Sick. These people are sick. Sick. Right? I want a huge crucifix with a dead Jesus on it, but I don't want him dead. I want a Jesus who has entered into that death state, who was drugged like the one that was there. Yeah, I want the actual historical Jesus. I want the one who probably died because they poked him. If those, isn't it odd? We can enjoy this about the crucifix. If those soldiers, those Romans, because the Romans were like, time to break legs. What time is it? Time to break legs, boys. How do you work a job like that? Seriously, how do you work a job? Right? Gonna go, well, that one's still alive. Look, he's still groaning. Break his legs. Right? You get a big hammer and you bust his legs. It's the precision of the pain and the precision of that masochistic tendency, that urge and the fulfillment, the urge of the wolf, right? The urge of that one who is the paiderastes, right? That crazy Thessalian with all his drugs. You know what they do to their students? right? We know the most prominent of them was a prince called Yasus, Jason, also, aka where Jesus comes from, right? This is part of a tradition, people. This stuff is interconnected. These people were not born in vacuums. Um, they interacted with each other, and this spread, Let's go. Let's go back to the call. I want to see him. I want to see what's going to happen. Right. Yeah. Look, anything. We look at the second line. You see that word sabasma? I just want you to focus on that, because this power is going to stand there. It's going to pose itself to God and to everything that is sabasma. What is sabasma? That's what you're supposed to be doing, Christians, on Saturday, but you don't. Or, sorry, on Sunday. You switched it. On Sunday. You're supposed to be doing that on Sunday, but you don't. Right? There is no Saba. There is no Saba. Do you know what your Savior screamed from the cross? Sabachthon. The name of a God in his mouth while he was dying. Yeah, and not just any God, but a God used by the Laestes. Now, some of you tell St. John, remember he's 10 to 12, and tell him, look into his little eyes and tell St. John like Jesus did. Yeah, marriage sucks. Let me tell you about this other avenue. There are these eunuchs that are born eunuchs. There are these eunuchs that are become eunuchs. There are these eunuchs who follow the kingdom of God. Don't you want to follow the kingdom of heaven, Peter? Who am I, Peter? Who am I? You know who I am. Yeah. You're Gangster G. That's who you are. Yeah. You say it should be a J. Gangsta G. Now let's go to the final last source. This is too much fun, and I know I'm having way too much fun, but thank you for letting me in this final season. For a few more weekends, have a lot of fun. Wow, we're going all the way down the bottom. Look at that. No, I don't want to jump to because there's a couple of goodies here. Let's keep going. What was next after that one? Yeah. Okay, look at Second Thessalonians again, right? How is all of this happening? It's happening through Satana, right? Or Satwarna or Saturnus. This is all happening through that Saturnian age, right? This is how we're bringing it about. That's why the connection that we have to Satan. Do you mean Satan is older than Jehovah? Yes, of course. Of course he is. Who did you expect had the best job anyway? Yeah, guard this stuff. Okay, right? Go. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. And then that person, that anomos, yeah, they'll be revealed, right? Whom the Lord Jesus, Anele, he's gonna annihilate them. He's gonna annihilate them with his what? If you're a magus, what are you gonna annihilate anyone with? You know what we are. We're workers in wind. Right? Says those creepy magi. Workers in wind. Workers in wind. Yeah. In the breath of his mouth, baby. That's how he's going to do it. That's how he's going to do it. And when's it going to happen? It is Epiphania, man. When he shows up, right? And the Christians are like, yeah, he's going to show up and he's going to kill everybody who's not a Christian, and the place will be running with blood. Show me Christ crucified. Show me the crown on his head, Mel. Show me his blood. Oh, I love it. I love his blood. I love the blood of Jesus. Oh, I love it. I love him sitting there. Oh, I thirst. I'm so thirsty. Give me a drink. I'm thirsty. Sabachthon. Ouch. And I'm sure he said every once in a while, ouch, or something like that. They didn't put that in the Bible. He didn't say, oh my God, this hurts. Man, he was either, I don't know. Um, I would have been complaining. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. This is back to Paul again. Tell us one more thing, Paul. No, we're there. Let's go back. I want to give you guys this. This is the last entry we've got tonight. And this is from the Geoponica. Yeah, those are all from the same. These are from the Geoponica. And this is a Byzantine manual. It has lots of drug knowledge, has lots of poisons and antidotes. They're all over the place. So this is a great, great, great resource for us. And I want to just read you the title of this just so you can see that I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. Classicists will be like, huh? Because this is not a very popular source, right? Nobody reads this thing. Shame on them. Perites theriakes kai cathartikes ampelu. Oh my God. Yeah, and it's by Florentinus. So what is this work? This is the title of a work. And it's on the theriac and cathartic vine. How do you make a theriac and a cathartic vine? I told you before, we're performing things in a polypharmaceutical way. Yeah, and what are we doing? We're working with the roots and we're working with the branches, we're grafting. We're using poultices. We're coating roots. I read a section about coating roots earlier. I was like, wow, coating the roots in order to produce. Now you take the fruit and then you produce it. I'm the vine, you make the wine. I'm the vine and you make the wine. And what happens with that wine? That's the aquavita, baby. That's that stuff that comes right out of her. It comes right from Lady Babylon. We got a cup of it. Would you like to try it? Turns out it cures cancer. Somebody should be looking at this. Yeah. It's our own ignorance. Chewy. It's total ignorance on our part. It's okay though. Let's go. And here's the next section of it. And I just wanted you to see this. Oh, look at section number 6. Okay, so prostas plagas, for the strikes of the herpetone, of those, creepy crawly things that can make you sick. It helps when you drink it with wine, right? And the kaito ex autu oxos, and the oxos from it. Do you see what they're using the oxos here for? This is not upon the Christ on the cross. This is on the Christ elsewhere. Look at the 1, 2, 3, the fourth line down, second word in, epichrien. Do you know what they're doing? They're Christing. What are they Christing? Here they're Christing the roots. Now, why would you be Christing roots? Because you want that to produce that intoxicating chemical. You want it to take it, to process it, and to put it out in a way that you can use it then within your right. It will take you to a place, into death and back to life. Bacchus, baby. This is old Bronze Age Bacchic cult, right? And Jesus is plugged right into it. He's plugged right in. Our last source tonight, and I'll let you guys go. This is just a fun one. Yeah, this is that Paganites oinos. Wait, it's the Paganites wine. What is that? Some kind of rue wine or something? Yeah, what's it used for? Well, first of all, it's really, it's thermotic. It is a heating wine, right? And it's used for against these any class of drug that is going to tend to overthrow your body, right? And what else? It's an alexipharmakos. It's an alexipharmakos of that we use against the reptiles, against those crawly venomous things. Yep, take it down. Wait a minute, you've got a wine that does that? Yes, we have a wine, and it's a complex compound formula, and it has to be manufactured through that vessel of nature. This is your problem. This is why you don't have the why the medicine is not where the medicine should be if we didn't have that 1,000 years of dark ages. Thank you very much. That took us backwards. We'll catch up to where the Greeks were pretty soon. We'll catch up to them. Yeah, and with the technology that we will have developed, we'll be able to rerun civilization. I just want to end by saying tonight that Ogdoad, that eighth that was and is not but will be, the restoration of that beast will bear up Lady Babylon. Thank you for coming tonight. We'll see you next Wednesday. Hail Satan.
You never cared for fame and fortune, or worldly renown.